Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today I will be flying in the Phoenix Sim A320 from Heathrow to Charles de Gaulle in Paris. This is a quick start tutorial on how to start up this aircraft. So let's get on into the video. And if you guys want, I can do a PMDG 737 family next, the 777, probably the A220, anything after that. By the time you're watching this, I already have the 737 family already done. So yeah, let's get on into this. So we're gonna do the walk around, pre-flight checks. We're gonna go into our engine right here. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna spin the fan blades and make sure that they spin properly and correctly. Just like that. All right, looks good. Now we're just gonna walk around our aircraft today, the A320. Making sure everything looks good. All right, we're gonna get our right engine, drag the fan blades. Looks like they are spinning correctly. There's the A321 right there. We were on British Airways, in case you couldn't tell. Terminal 5 here at London Heathrow. Not sure what terminal will be in it, de Gaulle, but yeah. So let's jump on into the cockpit. So you're gonna load into the cockpit. If this is your first time in the Phoenix Sim A320, you'll load into a turnaround state, but we're already in a cold and dark state. If you want to do that, just go into the iPad, which we are gonna do right now. So we're gonna turn on our iPad. Okay, iPad turned on. All the other apps will be used. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna turn on our co-pilot's iPad since he is apparently too lazy to do it himself. So we're gonna come on over here. And what we're gonna do is go into our iPad and get the airplane all loaded pretty much. This flight is not very long from LHR to CDG, Lima Hotel Romeo, Charlie Delta Golf. Say it's about like what, 45 minutes, maybe 35 minutes. It's really short. It's like from here in Portland to Seattle. It takes no time at all. So we're gonna go into our favorite iPad, the only iPad, and we're gonna do what normal pilots would do: plan an IFR route to Paris. So we're gonna go to our favorite app, which is Flight Planner. What we're gonna do, we're gonna zoom out, click on route, click drop down arrow, and find route. Y'all know the drill. Okay, oh, pretty interesting route today. Looks like it has us going south, and then it's gonna just have us cut over straight east. Maybe there's a lot of traffic in the area, I guess. So it wants us to land on runway 09 right. We're probably gonna land on 09 left, considering 09 right is for takeoff. I like to land realistically in the sim. If the iPad gives me the correct one, great. If it doesn't, I guess it sucks to be the iPad, but I'm a realistic pilot. Let's see what runway it gives us for takeoff at Heathrow. It wants to take us off on runway 09 left. We're gonna have to take off on runway 09 right. So yeah, at least it has us going the right direction. As you can tell by the planes coming in. Planes always take off and land into the wind. Unless it's a rare exception like Aspen, Colorado or something. But yeah, alright, enough of that. Now we're gonna go into this iPad. And we're gonna hit the Fenix app on our iPad. The one with the little bird on it. And then we're gonna hit ground services. Everything's connected, chocks, cones, GPU car, everything looks good. We're gonna hit mass imbalance. Next. To get our passengers loaded, so click on planned. We don't need a full flight considering this flight is flown a lot during the day, so we'll do 140 passengers. Cargo, again, not a lot, probably like 1,400 pounds. Fuel, we don't need that much, we'll go like halfway. Yeah, that looks good. Click apply, and then we are going to click load aircraft. Fast time, since this is a quick start tutorial. If you want to use realistic time, you can. If you have GSX, I would recommend using that. Alright, so people are now getting onto our aircraft. As you can see, boarded 5 out of 140. As you can see, the little pink and orange are filling up. So now while that's happening, we're going to go to our favorite section, the overhead panel. And we're going to go down to where it says external power, or as I call it, ground power. Hit avail. Our aircraft is now alive. As you can hear it booting up. So our first step, what we're gonna do on the A320 is we're gonna get our batteries turned on. So battery 1 on and battery 2 on. Just like that. And then we're gonna go and get our ADIRs. Put all those to nav. All 3 of these knobs are gonna say nav. And then all of them are going to say fault, and then that means that they are all on, just like that. Then we're going to go down, we're going to hit ground control on. Then we're going to go and hit crew supply to on. And then next we are going to get our nav and logo lights turned to 1. If it's nighttime, I would recommend hitting 2. We can come over first and look and see, okay, we have 44 out of our 140 passengers already boarded on our A320. As we can see, it is filling up quite quickly. Alright, back up. Okay. All of our fuel is going to come on. All of our fuel is going to go to our tanks and our engines. Get all the switches to say off to on. That is quite perfect. Nav and logo lights, like I said, to 1. And then we're going to come over and get our no smoking signs to auto. And our emergency exit lights to armed. Just like so. Okay. Weather for this flight looks pretty good. We got clear skies all the way, which is very rare to see in London. So weather is all good for this flight. Our aircraft has 78 out of 140 passengers boarded. So these people need to hurry up because I'm impatient and I want to get flying. So yeah, as you can see, that little red white circle thing that's moving, it's gonna go up as our aircraft gets heavier, and then when people get off the plane, it'll get lighter. So all the people are coming on. we can go get overhead lighting by turning that knob right there that I just turned. Next, what we're going to do is get our APU master switch turned on. And then we're going to go down here and look at our PFD and focus on the APU section labeled APU at the top. Right there where my mouse is pointing is going to say flap open. Once it says flap open, we can go ahead and click APU start, and that will start up our APU. Sorry guys, I'm filming this at night, so that's why I'm a little bit tired. Alright, APU start to on. So that might takes about 2 minutes to start up the APU, not long at all. And then once when it's going to turn green, it's going to say avail. And then when it says avail, we can go up, hit our APU bleed to on. But the APU right now is firing up. I would edit this out, but I'm not sure how to do that. Okay, it says avail. Now we can go up and hit APU bleed. So now we're going to go, and we're going to go to this computer calculator looking thing. Our favorite part of airliners, the FMC. If you want to fly airliners, you got to get used to the flight management computer, not the flight management control. No, it's the computer. Even though it looks like a math calculator, but yeah. So we're gonna click ATSU. We're gonna hit AOC menu, and then we're gonna click flight analyzation. And here we're gonna enter our flight number, our departure, and our destination. So I am going to now look up what our ICAO code for London is. I know it's LHR, but I'm not sure what their other one is. Okay, so it's Echo, Golf, Lima, Lima. Okay, so that is departure. And then our destination, let me go ahead and look it up. It's L F P G. We're gonna hit enter for there. Perfect. And then our flight number today is 560 today. British Airways flight 560. Okay, everything looks good. There is a lot more to the FMC, but since this is a quick start tutorial, I'm just going to show you this, but there's a lot more to the FMC. But for now, since it's a quick guide tutorial, I'm just going to show you how to do just that. Today is May 24th. Okay. Our aircraft is loaded. We can go ahead and hit dismiss right there. Everything on the overhead looks good. We're going to get our external power turned off since we do not need it anymore. Everything is already turned on. So we're going to go to ground services. We're going to get our doors off, shocks and cones off, and GPU cart off. Everything except for the jetway is disconnected from our aircraft. We're getting one step closer to pushback. That means the passengers are one step closer to Francais. So, good news for them. Okay. Alright. Next, we're gonna get our seatbelt signs on, and we're gonna get our beacon lights turned on. On the sim. There we go, beacon lights 2 on. And if you're using GSX, which I am not, a lady with a pin will, automatically put in the pin for the pushback tug, but I like to go into the communication and request pushback myself. I think it's a lot more realistic and a lot more better that way. But to each their own, I guess. Yeah, like I said, PMDG is coming in the near future. Virtual call after that, and then, well, maybe I'll do like the PC-24, just to add a little spice to it. So we're gonna go here, communication. We're gonna scroll down and hit ground services. We're gonna hit passengers boarding stop, which will disconnect our jet bridge.
Heathrow ground, British Airways 654. I am done with the boarding.
All right, our jetway is now disconnecting. Which means we can now go start to push back. We're gonna go reset our position. And we're gonna hit request pushback.
Heathrow ground, British Airways 654, requesting pushback.
It's like 654.
British Airways 654, pushback request accepted.
Alright. We're gonna go down, hit our parking brake to off, release parking brake. Alright. Pushback will start here shortly. Alright, pushing back started. So now we are one step closer to getting on our way to France. Alright. We are almost done with the pushback process.
Heathrow ground, British Airways 654, requesting the end of pushback.
Thank you, co-pilot.
British Airways 654, request to end pushback received.
Alright, we're gonna go down here and put our parking brakes to on. And then what we're gonna do, since we are pushed back, is we're gonna get our engine started. So let's focus on the center panel right here. We're gonna go and switch this knob to where it says ignition start right there. And then we're gonna hit engine 1 to on. Engine ignition switch. Turn that on. Okay, and then I want you to focus on where it says N2%. N2 is rising. That is a good sign. We are getting close to our left engine 2 on.
Heathrow ground, British Airways 654 with India. Request taxi to the active, east departure. British Airways 654, taxi to and hold short of runway 09 or left using taxiway Alpha Lima 5, 6 Lima 5, 7 Alpha 1 tree, Alpha Bravo 1 tree. Contact tower on 118.505 when ready. Taxi to and hold short runway 09 or left using taxiway Alpha Lima 56 Lima 57 Alpha 1 tree, Alpha Bravo 1 tree. British Airways 654.
All right, now that it says avail right there, we can go ahead and go down and hit engine 2. Also, thank you, co-pilot, for requesting taxi clearance. I really appreciate that. Okay, and 2% is rising on the right engine. Engine number 2 is starting up. Sorry I couldn't cut this out for you. I wish I could, but I can't. Alright, now that that says avail, we can go down and get our knob where it says ignition start. We can go ahead and put it to mode norm right there. Perfect. Alright, our engines are all booted up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get our APU turned off. So APU master switch off, APU bleed off. All stuff we gotta do before we get to taxiing. APU has turned off. If you guys think I should do more Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 content, I sure can. I could do full flight tutorials. I could, show you how to do lots of things. I've been playing this game for years. I even used to play Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 for years and years and years. Alright, so now we're going to go down and we're going to go ahead and hit our armrest to off. We're going to get our weather radar to on. We're going to get our flaps to 2, but normally you can use flaps 1. I like to use flaps 2 just for that extra lift during takeoff. Okay, all of that checks out. So now we're going to go ahead and do probably the most important thing you could do before takeoff. We're going to go ahead and do a flight control check. So we're going to move our yoke up and push it forward. Okay, good. Like so. And we're going to turn our ailerons like that and like that. Perfect. And then we're going to move our rudders just like so. Okay. Flight controls are free and correct. We're going to go hit auto brake to max. And we're going to go ahead and hit this button down here that says TO config. TO speeds not inserted. They are. So we're going to hit master caution and ignore that. Perfect. Okay, now we can get our parking brakes off and we are now ready to taxi. So yeah, camera forward. Let's go ahead and taxi out of here so we can go to France. So parking brakes off, feet off the brakes. We're gonna add in a little bit of thrust to get us moving. In real life, there are not little blue arrows that guide you. It's just there in the flight sim. There's also not little blue squares either. So we're gonna go ahead and taxi to the correct runway for takeoff. Ooh, we got a nice British Airways A380 right there and a EasyJet British Airways. Okay. Pretty darn nice. I had never been to Heathrow in real life. I'd like to do that someday. Ooh, nice British Airways 777 right there. Alright, perfect. Ooh, looks like we got a long line for takeoff. I'll probably end the video sometime soon, so y'all don't have to see that. Yeah, taxiing here at London Heathrow is not short. This ain't Portland, folks. This ain't Portland. This ain't Kansas City. This ain't anywhere where short taxi times. Yep, just taxiing out to the runway. Oh, that A320 over there is taxiing quite fast. What do you think you are? Southwest Airlines? I'm kidding, you're taxiing at a completely normal speed. I was the one taxiing like Southwest. Lesson of the day, kids, do not take off from a taxiway like Southwest tried doing in Orlando a year ago. Okay, A320, you're not cutting me in line. Why do you all not have liveries on yourselves? Kind of weird. Okay, well, I don't really want to bore you guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit communication. We're going to hit Tune Heathrow Tower so we can hear what they're saying for takeoff. And yeah, like I was saying, I don't want to bore you guys with watching me just sit in line here. So yeah, I'm going to have to probably end the video. So that is your quick start tutorial guide to flying in the sim. I hope you all enjoyed that video, and I hope that y'all got a education out of this. So what we're gonna do before takeoff is always get our runway turn off lights, taxi lights on, and we're gonna get our landing lights turned on and our auto throttle turned on right down there, just like so. Yeah, that is pretty much how you start. So I will see you all in the next video, and I hope you all have some good flights out there.